Hey everybody, actually this is a first for me. I'm going to do 2 videos in one day. It just dawned on me as I was reflecting on the fact that I'm coming up on a year from being post-op, and I was just thinking that I never really did a video about some of the things, or I should say some of the products that I used, or give some information about the type of diet you're going to need to be on when you're post-operative, coming straight from the hospital. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. I wanted to give some information and share some product information that may help someone who is just coming out of surgery, who is a few days post-op and is going into their first 2 weeks. Those of you who are going to be going through your first 2 weeks post-op, especially if you're having a sleep procedure like I have, you're going to be on what's called a liquid. You're going to be on a liquid diet. The first couple days right after surgery, you're going to be on what's called a clear liquid diet, which mainly is going to consist of broths with a protein, with a clear protein liquid that you can add to it. I remember while I was in the hospital, I could barely. Now, the very first day out of surgery, you cannot have anything. Basically, you can't drink water. You cannot suck on ice. You're basically nothing. And you will experience a thirst that, at least I did, right after surgery. There was a tremendous thirst that I had, but you cannot and should not and will not drink anything right after surgery, your first surgery day. The second day after surgery, you will then be given some fluids to drink. Also, you'll be given some broth. Now, that's where the work is going to be coming in, because you're not going to be able to digest anything. At least for me, I suffered from tremendous amount of gas, and I think it's because they also use gas in the surgery procedure. So you will be mainly focusing on trying to get some of the fluids up. At the hospital that I was at, they did give you these little cups. I wish I had one. They had these little cups. Matter of fact, they're the type of cups they give you when they're giving you your medication. You know how I don't know if anyone ever, when you go in the hospital and they give you your medication in these little cups, they put these little pills in these little cups. But that's where you're going to be using to initially try to get fluid in. And I think the cups measure about maybe 2 ounces, 2 or 4 ounces. I don't even think it's 4 ounces. I think it's more like 2 ounces. So they give you these little cups, and you're going to need to sip on it. You cannot swallow. So you're going to be sipping from these little teeny cups. You may have to add some broth to these cups to sip on it, to get some fluids in. They'll keep you on an IV so you won't get dehydrated, but you're definitely going to have to do some work. And you're going to be basically in the bed sipping all day long, just sipping. So you can try to get those fluids in. When you're released from the hospital, that's when you can really go into getting into the routine of your diet. Now, again, the first few days after you get home, you're still not going to be able to do a lot of heavy digesting of your protein shakes. Now, the one shake that I did, I don't have it with me, but the one shake that I think that I would highly recommend if you're trying to decide which shakes to stock up on, the ones that work really well for me was the Ensure. I think it's called the Ensure. Let me bring it up real quick on the internet. Yes, it's the Ensure High Protein. Now, I don't think they know. They carried the bottles that I had. I had a 4-pack of 16-ounce bottles. I don't think they carry them that way now. But those bottles actually had 25 grams of protein. The whole 16-ounce bottle had 25 grams of protein. So I would focus on trying to get that whole. Now, I couldn't drink that whole bottle in one setting. It would actually take me a whole day. When I first came home from the hospital, it would take me a whole day just to digest or get down that one bottle. But gradually, of course, as you start to heal, you'll be able to get, you'll digest it a little bit faster. But the Ensure High Protein shake was very good and it worked very well for me. I had the chocolate flavor. I'm a chocolate lover. Chocolate worked best for me. I didn't like the vanilla flavor too much. It didn't really have a taste to it. I didn't try the strawberry. I was kind of scared of trying artificial strawberry flavors. I love strawberry, but I'm kind of scared of trying artificial strawberry flavors. Another shake that's pretty good. Now I like this in the flavor of vanilla, and I actually happen to have one. I actually have this one in chocolate, but I love it. I love this product. It's the Muscle Milk. This is very good. It's very low in calories and it's very low in fat. Well, actually, this one's a little high in fat, but but if they do have Muscle Milk does have one that's a little bit lower in fat and they're low in calories. Now the one I had it in vanilla, and they work pretty good. As you can see, there are 20 grams of protein in this little container. It's 20 grams of protein. You want to try to keep your fat grams at least 3 grams of fat or less. This one is a little bit higher. It's a lot higher actually. It's 7 grams of fat, but this is but it's 180 calories and the sugar is low. It's only 3 grams of sugar. So I'll trade that. I'll trade a little extra fat grams. I'll trade a little bit of fat grams for the low sugar and the low calorie count. So, but this is pretty good. It does have a slight aftertaste, but if you can deal with the aftertaste, this works pretty good. Now they also come in. Muscle Milk has one now. The fat calorie is higher, and maybe because it comes in a higher ounce packaging. But they have one that's called, I think it's called Muscle Milk 40. So actually, the one bottle has 40 grams of fat. 40 grams of protein in it. So sometimes if I'm on a run all day long, I haven't really eaten anything, I'll stop past the store and get that, and that helps with a meal supplement. I don't rely on these. Once you get further down in your weight loss after you pass the 8-week period, you don't want to really rely on these too much, because that could be very dangerous to rely on these. Once in a while, like I'll use this. I'm not really a big morning breakfast eating kind of person, but especially during the days when I'm working and I'm running and I have a tendency to rush to go out the door to go to work, my appetite is not there. So this kind of helps me with the breakfast, supplementing a breakfast breakfast. But I still try to, even with this, I'll still try to squeeze in something else in addition to this. Like I make it some eggs, like I make it some boiled eggs or something like that. And with the eggs, I remove the yolk. But anyway, this is a good product too, right after surgery, the first 2 weeks after your surgery. So this is good. Also, there's another product called Ungery. Ungery is a protein powder that it's not available in stores. You have to order it online. The website is www.unjury, that's unjury.com. Their products are really, really good. I still have some packs here. Now you can order the whole canister of their protein powders, or you can get what I ordered, a starter kit. Now the starter kit it's affordable. The starter kit is about $20 and some tax, I think. About $20 plus shipping and handling. So you may spend about $25. You get a choice of 2. Let me just go because I have the website. I happen to have the website up here. But with the Ungery starter pack, like I said, it's a really good product. And I love one of the flavors that I love that I'm going to go over with you in a minute. Really helped me a lot with getting the foods in. Now with the starter kit is 20. Get the pricing up here for you. The starter kit is $21.20 plus you have to pay tax, and it comes with a thermometer because you want it when you prepare the some of the shake, especially the one powder, which is chicken flavor powder, and it is good. You have to have it at a certain temperature, and it comes with a little shake bottle so you can shake it up, but it's really good. You get a choice of 5 packets of protein packets to get you started, And then you can also, what I like about it too is that if you need to get a refill on the package, you can order them individually. The individual packets are like $2. So you don't have to commit yourself to a whole canister of protein powders in one flavor. You can mix up your flavors and do it that way. But the Underi is really good. This is one packet that I still have left over. It's called Chocolate Splendor. Splendor. I haven't tried it yet. But I love, they have the chicken flavor is awesome. The chicken flavor protein powder. That helped me a lot because with that protein powder I was able to boost up my protein by mixing it with other soups. Now, during my first week, I was able to get down. Oh, and also you're going to need, I'll talk about this today because I'm kind of jumping around. Some of the soups that I purchased, I was able to use with this Underi. This is another good product. I got this from Whole Foods, but it's basically simply cream and mushroom soup. So this is what they suggest you eat too. Some cream soup, cream mushroom soup has a half cup serving is about 60 calories. It's 0 fat, and it doesn't have sugar in it. So this is good. The protein, it doesn't really have protein in it, but this with the Underi chicken flavor protein pack, awesome. And the protein packs have a total of 21 grams of protein in them. Each packet, no matter what flavor you get, is going to have 21 grams of protein in it. So I would mix this with the chicken flavor Underi packet. It was really good. I also use the Underi packet. Now, split pea soup has a lot of protein in it, and I was eating that too. Now, what I would have to do with the split pea soup is I had to put it through a strainer to get it more in a liquefied consistency without the actual peas being in it. So, which worked very well because that's high in protein. And again, to boost the protein up even more, I would add the Underi packet in there. That worked. Tomato soup with the Underi packets. Again, mixing it, straining it, putting it through straining to get it more liquefied. That helped very much. So Underi is, I'm going to keep singing its praises. It's really good, especially the chicken flavor ones. They're very good. Also, now, as far as getting fluids in, just remember that with getting fluids in, you're eating Jello is a good way of getting some of your fluids in. Sugar-free Jello. I don't suggest you buy, if you're going to buy Jello, don't get the pre-packaged, pre-made, I think they call them snack packs Jello. They're already on the shelf. They've been on the shelf for, they have a long shelf life. Don't get those. Those are very hard to digest. If you're going to eat Jello, get the actual Jello packets, mix it up, put it in the refrigerator, let it do its thing. Those are better to digest. Also, do not get the, if you do get puddings are also considered a liquid when you're on your liquid diet. Get the refrigerated Jello brand Jellos like this that are sugar-free. These are good when you first come out of surgery, and they also count toward your fluid intake as well. Also, now, something about water is going to be hard for you to digest, especially hard water. So I don't know if maybe you want to look into getting a water softener for your faucet. If you can't get one, then the other option is when you drink water, you're going to have to make sure this is either very warm or very cold. Warm temperature water, for me anyway, and from what I've heard from a lot of other people, it's very hard to get down. Crystal Light is going to help you with that. To get your water intake in with your waters, that is a very good product to use. As you can see, I still have these. Also, now, when you get into your second and fourth week after surgery, then that's when you can kind of increase the textures of your food a little bit. As I was saying before with the split pea soup, again, split pea soup is going to be your lifesaver because split pea soup itself has a good amount of protein in it. I liked the brand of split pea soup that I really enjoyed was the Progresso split pea soup. It was very good. It was very low in fat, very high in protein. I enjoyed it a lot. And again, with the underi chicken flavor. When you mix that in together, it just had a really nice flavor to it. Now, but as you get to your second and fourth weeks of post-op, then you get start introducing some thicker textured food. Like for example, with the split pea soup, you don't really have to strain it as much. And also, yogurt. Your first 2 weeks out, yogurt drinks. Make sure they're very low in sugar or sugar-free. Yogurt is another. Dannon's light yogurt is very good. During post-surgery, I think Dannon yogurt's coming. I haven't had Dannon yogurts in a while, and I'm explaining why. But Dannon yogurt light, the light yogurts, I think they have like 60 calories, 100 or 60 calories or 100 calories. They're very low in sugar. They're sugar-free. They're very low in fat. They're very good. Also, when you get, like I said before, once you transition to your second or fourth week, then you want to get into food with more texture. The Dannon Greek yogurts, the diet, the light Greek yogurts are very, very good. Also, now this is what I've been using. Now, this yogurt is pretty good. It's an Icelandic yogurt. It's a little bit higher in sugar than the Dannon yogurts or the Greek yogurts. It's 11 grams of sugar, but it's low in fat. It has 3 grams of fat, but it's very high in protein. It has 14 grams of high protein, so I think it's just a little tad higher than the Greek yogurt. But this is, and that's another thing with your yogurts, with these powder mixes, like the underi, the vanilla flavor. I would add that in with my yogurts too to give it a little bit more of a kick in protein. So that's a good way of sneaking in your protein as well. But with this yogurt, this is an Icelandic yogurt that I found at a store called Whole Foods. It's Icelandic yogurt. Now this yogurt, this particular flavor I really love. It's vanilla with cardamom. I really like this one. But they come in other flavors, like they have strawberry, blueberry. They're very low in sugar. Well, they're naturally sweetened. They don't have any artificial sweeteners in it. So they have about 11 grams of sugar, which is good compared to some of these yogurts you see that has like 22 grams of sugar in it, which is crazy. But it has a slight tartness of it because it's not using artificial sweeteners. It does have a little bit of a tartness to it, but it's really good. It has a nice thick consistency. It's thicker than Greek yogurt. This is almost like ice cream as far as the texture. Without it being frozen, almost comes close to ice cream texture to me. But that's a good product to use. Also, as far as your liquids coming out of surgery, your first 2 weeks, you want to drink. If you're having a hard time getting water in, then focus on your fruit juices and your vegetable juices. Of course, ocean spray. I happen to have a bottle right here. I'm actually drinking some cranberry juice right now, but I usually get the diet cranberry juice. You can see it's almost gone. But I get the diet cranberry juice because it only has like 5 calories, and even though it's artificially sweetened, it is cranberry juice. It's pretty good. You don't have to worry about the sugar in it. If you're going to drink this instead of, because they also have a Ocean Spray Light, which is about, I think, 50 calories, which is not bad. This one, the diet, it has a slight aftertaste, so if you don't want the aftertaste, maybe you want to either switch to the Ocean Spray Light, or if you want to deal with this, you can deal with this, but you're going to have to make sure, flavor-wise, that it's really, really cold. Because I found that it tastes better when it's really cold versus when it's cool or close to room temperature. It's not very tasty. Aftertaste is even more pronounced if you have it in a cooler or room temperature compared to a really cold or almost freezing temperature. And it's easier for me to get down when it's really colder. So that was some stuff I wanted to share with you about the diet that you want to be on when you first come out of surgery, the first 2 weeks, and going into your second and third week. So I'm going to try to do more videos that are going to focus on that because there's a lot of information out there about the post-operative diet, and I'm still learning some things about it too. So I just wanted to share. It just dawned on me that I didn't really do a video like that about what type of diet to expect. So those are some tips to help you get set up. Don't go out. You don't really have to go out and stockpile on stuff. I would suggest, if you're gonna just before surgery, sample some shakes and things. I would suggest you go more with the pre-mixed, already made shakes like the Ensure or the Muscle Milk, and not focus too much on the powders. The pre-mixed drinks, it makes it a lot easier. You don't have to worry about that. The only time I really use the powders again is when I was making my broths and broth is another thing you want to make sure you get. You don't have to really stockpile that stuff, because you really can't eat it all, quite frankly. So don't stockpile it. I will suggest you do stockpile. If you do whatever shake that you decide to go with, stockpile that in the liquid. Now, again, not the powders, but get the pre-mixed shakes, because they really do go fast once you are able to start getting getting all your liquids in as you start to heal. You will start to go through those very quickly, so that you may want to stockpile a little bit. But as far as the powders, for me, I went out and bought a blender and never used it. So the powders, you may want to, if you're not really a person that's into using the blenders and stuff like that. I mean, I have a brand new blender. It's still sitting in this box. But the powders are good. The pre-mixed shakes are good. The Undere, I would stress, if you're going to invest in the powders, just get the Undere vanilla flavor, so that way you can mix it in with your yogurt as you eat yogurt, or you can mix it with your like if you want to be eating later. That's later on though, not in your first few weeks. But you can definitely mix it in with your yogurts, and I think it's good. So the vanilla flavor Undere, order that, and also the chicken flavor Undere. That's going to be good for you too, a good tool for you to use. The other thing I did too, as you get into your second and third week, your third and fourth week, I actually bought baby food. Now it's going to sound strange, but I bought, I have some left over. I didn't eat that much of it, but it helped. The beef and broth baby food. And the reason why I bought it, and I know it sounds crazy, but people are like, I'm not eating no baby food. But when you're on that diet, taste is not going to really matter much. And it's a very small amount. So, this is like 2.5 ounces. But it has 8 ounces of protein in it. So just look at it as, don't look at it, I ain't eating that baby food. I ain't eating no baby food. I told some people who were about to go into surgery, to try the baby food, and they was like, I'm not eating no baby food. But look at it this way, it's a temporary thing. I didn't eat all of it. I bought a couple jars of it, and as you can see, I still have them. But it's a tool, because this little jar has 8 grams of protein in it. So if you're able to get this in, or mix it in with a soup base to boost up that protein, do it. So I had the beef, and also had the chicken flavor too. And also with the vegetables, hey, the baby string, still had some of those left over. I have butternut squash left over to get those vegetables in. You gotta try to get your vegetables in. That third, fourth, we gotta start incorporating those things, and this helps. So don't look at it as, it's baby food and I gotta eat that. It's only a temporary fix. You're only gonna be doing it temporarily until you heal. So look at it that way. Stop being so squeamish about that. But or don't be squeamish about it. One more thing too, it just dawned on me, as far as a first aid kit to have with you. You may want to consider getting some. It's getting late. Time for me to go to bed soon. You may want to consider getting some. You don't really need bandages, because I think with the surgery they want your wounds to heal. But getting a couple bandages, like a little small mini first aid kit, just a little small one, where you can get some gauzes to keep your wounds clean, to help you with cleaning your wounds while you heal. and keeping them, free of possibly getting infected and everything. Keep a couple of gauzes with some tape in case you want to make a little bandage, or keep it, because as you start to get dressed, you're going to need to keep those areas protected. So you want to get yourself a little first aid kit for that. Get some bandages used for cleaning, alcohol, or witch hazel, whatever you want to use to clean those areas. Actually, the hospital gave me a wound wash while I was in the hospital, but they didn't give it. So I actually used that to keep the areas clean. And they sent me home with some, so that was good. Oh, and also, now, you may suffer from constipation like I did. It is not good. It's not the regular kind of we don't talk about constipation. It's not like the constipation that you are probably normally, like most people, get accustomed to. It is extreme constipation initially, and then with you having work on your stomach, you don't have the muscle capacity to eliminate. Okay, so basically you're gonna need a softener to help you out. So the Phillips Magnum, the old milk of magnesia works. I know it's horrible to take, but it does work well. So that's something you may want to have as part of your standby when you already come out the hospital. So you don't really have to stockpile a lot of protein powders and things like that. I would suggest test some out before you go into surgery. Test some out so you can be accustomed to the flavor of it, so you won't buy a bunch and then realize that you can't drink them. Definitely make sure you try them out before you make a major purchase in them. I definitely highly recommend the Underi package. They're very good. Popsicles are a good thing too. Sugar-free popsicles are good. That'll also help you with getting your fluids in. The brand popsicles is pretty good. They have the different flavors. They're very low in sugar. Those are pretty good to use. So your yogurts and things like that. That's going to really help you in your first couple weeks. So it helped me, and it made the transition easy. So that's pretty much it. I don't know why I keep getting these videos too long. I try to make them as short as I possibly can, but I'm going to end it right here. Take care.